Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Pig Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Pig Brain, here today on A Class Apart. It's a memorial quiz for Dr. Mrs. YGP, created by the Padma Seshadri group of institutions for all students across this nation from classes 6, 7 and 8. They've gone through a grueling journey before they've reached here today. And we've had over 23,000 students registering for this quiz, which has been a phenomenal thing for all of us. Truly appreciate all those of you who are part of this. Tata Consultancy Services as Team ION, which is TCS ION, organized a fabulous online series for them to shortlist and give us the list of contestants who now progress to the quarterfinals. But before I move into the quiz itself, I think it was truly a wonderful gesture by the family of Mrs. YGP, a doyen in herself, a lady who really was a pioneer, a remarkable educator, and a selfless leader. She always wanted people to grow and children to shine. And with that ideology, I think it was perfect for the family and the school to think of institutionalizing an annual quiz in her memory. How better to celebrate the legacy of someone like her than a cerebral celebration. So we here at Grey Caps Knowledge Tribe are truly honored and delighted to be part of this fantastic initiative, which is going to be an annual affair where we will quiz every year in memory of this great educator. But for now, the contest has come down from 24,000 contestants. We came down to about 400 contestants, which was the second round in the digital evaluation. And from 400, we are now down to 32, which is the quarterfinals across this country. We've got people who've contested from 22 states and 4 union territories. So it's a huge achievement just to be in the final 32, in my opinion. So rather than a welcome, I want to start with a congratulation. Congratulations to all of you for getting to where you are currently. We're of course going to start with the first quarterfinal here today. And as it is all about the youth and it's all about the future of this nation, we've got a young host who's going to take you through the quarterfinals. With me here today is a lady. I'll give you a trivia before we move on. She actually shares her name with the pen name that Mrs. YGP used to use. And YGP ma'am used to write under the name Rashmi in those days when she used to write columns in the media. And with me here today is a young host. She's a fantastic lady. She's been doing phenomenally well in quizzing. She's the only professional woman anchor to have hosted shows in several countries, especially across Asia. And she's arguably the most prolific woman host in this region and of course in India. An alumnus of NITK Surathkal, she's been an extremely passionate educator herself, a writer, a former teacher, a poet, but for now a quiz host. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those of you who are watching this here today, put your hands together wherever you are to welcome your host, Miss Rashmi Furtado. All yours, Rashmi.
Thank you, Big Brain. Well, the best part about this quiz, Mrs. YGP Memorial Quiz, is that the focus is on India. And we have the first quarterfinalist here with us, an all-girls quarterfinal. I mean, what a way to start this particular quiz. Welcome to all of you here. And let me quickly get into introducing our finalists here today. First up, we have Tanisha Chaudhary from Krishna Public School, Raipur. Next, we have Pritika from St. Paul's English School, Bangalore. Representing Padma Seshadri Bal Bhavan in Chennai, we have Sanjana Bhatt. Standing in for Navrachna School, Vadodara, we have Nandini Nair. Next, we have Arunima Das representing V.K. Patil Memorial School, Pune. Vanya Parolia from Pawar Public School, Mumbai. Following her, we have Aditi Singh from Kamal Junior College, Jamshedpur. And last but not the least, we have Yukta Singh representing Centrepoint School, Nagpur. That's our lineup for the quarterfinals here today. Let me get into the rules and then into the questions. Rules of the game, guys. We have 10 questions for you. All the questions are common to all of you. All the questions would be on the buzzers. If you know the answer, please press the buzzer. I will call out your name depending on who has pressed the buzzer first, and that person will unmute her mic and then say the answer. Once you press the buzzer, you will not have any time to think about the answer. You will have to immediately answer. Also, when I read out the question, if you press the buzzer, I will stop reading the question right there. Okay? Nothing appears on screen, so you will have to listen to what I have to say to you. +1 if you get it right, -1 if you get it wrong. Also, at any point in time, as I read out the question, if nobody presses the buzzer for about, say, 5 to 7 seconds, then I will move on to the next question. I will not be waiting beyond that for anyone to press the buzzer. So if all of you are ready, one thing to remember, ladies, is 4 of you will qualify to the semi-final. This is not about winning the quarterfinal here today. It's about qualifying to the semi-final. So please keep that in mind when you play your game. And remember, +1 if you get it right, -1 if you get it wrong. Remember that. Okay. So all of you are ready. We will get into our quarterfinals. And as you can see, the buzzers are on your screen as well. So there's absolute transparency in this game. First question to all of you. If all of you are ready, all the faces look a little nervous. Guys, you can smile a little. Don't worry. The questions are very interesting. Trust me. All right, great. Smiling faces. First question. Here we go. How many times has India won the ICC Cricket Club for one-day international? Arunima Das has pressed the buzzer first. Yes, Arunima, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Mom's 2 times the World Cup ICC World Cup.
Can you tell me when? Do you have a rough idea which year?
1983 and 2011. It was between 28 years. After 28 years, we won in 2011. And the captains were MS Dhoni and Kapil Dev.
Well, she knows the entire history. +1 to you, Arunima. No doubt on that at all. +1 to you. Okay, let's move on to question number 2 of this particular quarterfinal. +1 to Arunima there. The game starting really well. Second question, here we go. Which state would you be in? Which state of India would you be in if you are in Shillong? Alright, we have all the buzzers going on there, but Sanjana Bhatt was the first one to press the buzzer. Yes, Sanjana, please unmute yourself and speak.
Meghalaya.
Meghalaya, +1 to you. She's absolutely right. Shillong is in Meghalaya. Let's move on to question number 3 of this game. R.K. Lakshman drew his cartoons in Indian Express or Times of India. Sanjana Bhatt again on the buzzer. Sanjana, yes, please unmute yourself and speak.
Times of India.
Times of India, she's absolutely right. +1 to you, Sanjana. She gets another +1 there. She's already on 2, and we are just on question number 3 of this particular quarterfinal. All right, moving on to question number 4. Here we go. Tipu Sultan ruled from which famous city in Karnataka? Many buzzers have gone off, but we have Nandini Nair, first one to press the buzzer. Yes, Nandini.
Mysore.
Mysore, +1 to you. You're absolutely right. +1 to Nandini there. Mysore is the right answer. Moving on to question number 5 of this game. Here we go. Which famous battle was fought in 1526 between Babur and the Lodi dynasty? Straight out of the history books, and Sanjana is again on the buzzer. Yes, Sanjana, please unmute yourself.
First battle of Panipat.
First battle of Panipat. She gets it absolutely right. +1 to you, Sanjana. She is already on 3. We also have Nandini on 3 and Nandini on 1 and Arunima Das on 1. So 3 of them are doing pretty well as of now. Halfway through the game, but we have 5 more questions to go. And there is a lot of chance for many others to play this game well at this point in time. So let's get into question number 6. Alright girls, and all of you are ready. Here we go. Which Indian sport is played by throwing a ball at 7 stones? Well, in the beginning I thought these girls are not into sports, but then all the buzzers go off again. Alright, Nandini, first one on the buzzer. Please unmute yourself and speak.
Ma'am, Pithu.
Can you give me a more better known name?
Ma'am, Lagori.
Could you repeat that?
Lagori.
You are absolutely right, Nandini. +1 to you. Lagori is the better known name, so that's the reason I sort of nudged you into giving me the right answer. +1 to you. She's absolutely right. Lagori is the answer I was looking for. Moving on, question number 7 of this game. Here we go. The famous dish, sambar, that we all enjoy with idlis. Alright, I'm not allowed to finish the question, and Tanisha there is on the buzzer. Yes, Tanisha, go on.
Is it Maharaj Sambhaji?
Maharaja Sambhaji. How do you know I was not asking for the recipe of sambar?
Because I've been question a few times.
I'm just kidding. Yes, you're right. It's a GK quiz and an India quiz. You're absolutely right. +1 to you, Tanisha. Maharaja Sambhaji. The logic or the history being that Sambar was named after the king of Sambhaji. That is why it gets its name as Sambar. At this point in time, we have Tanisha at 1, Arunima Das at 1, Nandini Nair at 2, and Sanjana leading this quarterfinals at 3. We have 3 more questions to go. Yes, others also can score a lot of points at this point in time, but probably someone like a Sanjana and Nandini need to think if they really should risk playing the rest of the questions or just maybe wait and watch it out. Let's see how the game unfolds. Moving on to question number 8. Here we go. Le Corbusier, let me spell that out for you. Lecorbusier. Le Corbusier, the famous architect, designed which of these Indian cities? Stopping me from reading out the options. Tanisha is first one on the buzzer. Yes, Tanisha, please tell me the answer.
The city of Chandigarh.
City of Chandigarh, she says, and she gets +1 for that. She's absolutely right. Chandigarh is the answer I was looking for. Alright, now Tanisha also moves into a +2 zone. Let's see what happens. We have 2 more questions to go. The next question, here it is. Who wrote the famous poem In the Bazaars of Hyderabad and Coromandel Fishers? Sanjana on the buzzer again. Yes, Sanjana, go on.
Sarojini Naidu.
+1 to her. Absolutely right. +1. Sarojini Naidu is the one who wrote both of these poems. And with this, Sanjana moves to +4. With 1 more question remaining, it's quite clear that Sanjana has qualified for the semi-final. But we have many other people to go here. We have Arunima Das who's still on 1. If someone else gets a 1, then we have a tiebreaker. Let's see how the game unfolds in this last question of the quarterfinal. Here we go. Which child of Dhritarashtra fought for Pandavas and survived the war? Alright, Sanjana not allowing anybody else to answer this question and she goes on the buzzer again. Yes, Sanjana. Yuyutsu, she says +1 to her. She's absolutely right. +1. And with this, we come to the end of this particular quarter-final. Sanjana is on 5, moving to the semi-final. There's no doubt about it. We have Nandini Nair on 2. She too moves into the semi-final. So does Tanisha and Arunima. So there you go. 4 of our quarter-finalists who move into the semi-final. Thank you so much for being a part of this particular quarter-final. And stay tuned because we have the next quarter-final coming up for you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second quarter-final of A Class Apart, the YGP Memorial Quiz 2020. To take you through this quarter-final, please welcome your host, Miss Rashmi Furtado.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the first ever A Class Apart Mrs. YGP Memorial Quiz. And now we are getting into our quarter-final 2. We have completed the first quarter-final and identified our first 4 semi-finalists. They played an amazing game, but now it's time to go to the second quarter-final. Let me introduce you to our quarter-finalists. Here they are. Representing St. Anthony's Senior Secondary School from Rajasthan, Udaipur, is Monal Bhatia. Monal, could you just wave? Yes, there she is. That's Monal for you. Prerit Prabhu from BGS NPS Bangalore. That's him there. Representing the Tagore International School, New Delhi, we have Nidir Bardan. Alright, that's Nidir for you. And next, we have Ama Priyadarshini from DAV Public School, Odisha. Arudra Raghunathan from DBS, Bangalore. Standing in for Bhavans Vidya Mandir, Ernakulam, we have Aman Manoj. Asim Vatsraj from Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir, Mumbai. And lastly, we have Saksham Jha from Kamal Junior College, Jamshedpur. Alright, for an India quiz, I think we have covered the entire geography and making sure that we have participants and finalists from all the regions of this country. So those were our quarterfinalists for the second quarterfinal, and now we will get into our rules. 10 questions common to all questions on the buzzer. When I'm reading out the question, if any one of you press the buzzer, I will stop reading the question right there. I will call out your name, and only after I call out your name will you unmute yourself and tell me the answer. +1 if you get it right and -1 if you get it wrong. Please understand, once you press the buzzer, you will not have any time to think about the answer. You will have to answer immediately. If you press the buzzer and do not give me an answer, that will also be a -1. So please be very careful. Secondly, any question that is not buzzed, or say I have read out the question, I will wait for about 5 to 7 seconds for one of you to buzz. But if nobody buzzes within that period of time, I will move on to the next question. Alright, I think I have covered all the rules for you. Please be sure and keep this in your mind. 4 out of you will get qualified to the semi-final, and that is what this quarter-final is all about. Who qualifies to the next round? It is not about winning this game. Okay, so if all of you are ready, let's start with the first question of the second quarter-final. Alright, here we go, the first one. Which of these languages would you find in King Ashoka's edicts, which is the collections of his inscriptions? Your options: Kannada or Prakrit. Well, we have multiple people going on the buzzer there, but Saksham was the first person to go on you. He's absolutely right. One of the very old languages, Prakrit, and Ashoka's edicts are written in that language. Moving on to question number 2, here we go. Who was the court poet of King Harshavardhana who also wrote Harsha Charita? For a moment I thought this was a little difficult, but there you go again. We have Asim Vatsaraj going on the buzzer, and Asim, you can unmute yourself and tell me the answer.
His name was Bana Bhatt.
Bana Bhatt, you're very sure about that?
Yes, ma'am.
+1 to you. +1 to you, Asim. I was just trying to get you a little unsure about the answer, but you're absolutely right. Bana Bhatt is the right answer. So we have 2 players who are already on +1. 8 more questions to go. Let's see what happens. Question number 3, here we go. Gol Gumbaz is the mausoleum of which Indian ruler? We have Arudra going on the buzzer. Yes, Arudra.
Adil Shah.
Could you repeat that, Arudra?
Adil Shah. Adil Shah.
You're absolutely right. +1 to you. Muhammad Adil Shah. That is the answer I was looking for. And he gets it absolutely right. Moving on to question number 4. Here we go. Which language was Vande Mataram originally written in? Well, we have multiple buzzers going off there. Wow, okay, we have 5 of them who have gone on the buzzer, but Saksham is the first one to go there. Yes, Saksham.
It was written Bengali.
+1 to you, you're absolutely right. Originally written in Bengali. That's Vande Mataram for you. He gets +1 for that. At this point in time, the scores, Saksham is on 2, Asim is on 1, and Arudra is also on 1. And we have completed 4 questions, 6 more to go. Question number 5, here we go. Who founded the Rock Garden in Chandigarh? Alright, multiple people going on the buzzer there, but Asim is the first one. Asim, you can unmute yourself and tell me the answer.
Ma'am, the rock garden of Chandigarh was founded by Nick Chand.
Nature is absolutely right. +1 to you. He has absolutely no doubt in the answer he gave. Straightforward, right there. Nature is what I was looking for. +1 to you. Moving to the next one. Question number 6. Here we go. In 1856, the British decided to replace this old-fashioned musket with an Enfield rifle, and this caused a major uprising in the following year. What was this musket called? Okay, you can hear the buzzers going there. Prerit is first on the buzzer. Yes, Prerit.
The answer is matchlock.
Could you repeat that, please?
Matchlock.
Matchlock. Unfortunately, that's not the one I was looking for. The answer is Brown Bess. The name of the musket was Brown Bess, and that was replaced by the Enfield rifle. He gets a -1 on that, but no worries, we still have 4 more questions to go. We are now moving on to question number 7. This replacement of the rifle, actually, does any one of you know what revolt did it, what uprising did it cause? You're absolutely right. The Sepoy Mutiny is what it caused, but the answer is Brown Bess. He knows the history, but he probably got confused with the name. Alright, let's move on to question number 7 here. The Sambalpuri saris come from which state in India? Arudra going on the buzzer. Abha just missing by a couple of seconds. Yes, Arudra. Orissa or Odisha, I give it to you +1. Abha is probably feeling bad that she didn't get it right. Coming from Odisha, she should have got that right. But no worries, that's completely fine. 3 more questions to go. Let me quickly give you the score as of now. We have Saksham on 2, Asim on 2, and we have Arudra on 2. Prerit is on -1. Yes, that's about the score for now. But we have 3 more questions to go, and we need 4 people to qualify to the semi-final from this quarter-final. So let's see what happens now. Moving to question number 8, here we go. Which glacier is the source of the river Ganga? I expected this. I expected all of you to go on the buzzer for this, but the first one to go on the buzzer is Aman. Yes, Aman. Could you repeat that, Aman? Your voice wasn't very clear.
Gangotri Glacier.
Gangotri Glacier, you're absolutely right. +1 to you. That is the source or the birthplace of the river Ganga. Moving on, question number 9, the penultimate question of this particular quarter-final. Here we go. What is the other name of Mount Godwin Austen? Straight out of their books, so naturally most of them have gone on the buzzer. The first one, Nidhe. Yes, Nidhe.
The answer is Mount K2.
K2. +1 to you. You're absolutely right. K2 is the answer I was looking for. One more question to go. Let me quickly see where the scores are on as of now. Saksham on 2, Asim on 2, I have Arudra on 2, Nidhi on 1. I also have Aman on 1. So technically in the last question, if either Aman or Nidhi press the buzzer and one of them gets it right, then they will make it to the semi-final. But if one of them gets it wrong, automatically the other person goes to the semi-final. Alternately, someone else might press the buzzer and get a +1. Then we have a 3-way tiebreaker. So let's see what happens. The last question of this quarter-final. Here we go. On which hill is the Rashtrapati Bhavan located? Wow! I never thought this question would bamboozle our finalists here today. On which hill is the Rashtrapati Bhavan located? May not be something that comes in your textbooks, but this is general knowledge about India, and it's a Rashtrapati Bhavan. Oh, I did not expect silence for this particular question. The answer I was looking for is the Raisina Hill. That is the answer I was looking for with this particular question. Let me take a look at the score and then we will know what are the tiebreakers that we have today. Alright, without any doubt, we have Saksham Jha, Asim Vatsaraj, and we have Arudra qualified to our semi-final. All of them are on 2 points each, clear winners or rather clear qualifiers to the semi-final. But I think we have a tiebreaker between Nidhi and Aman. Alright, I'm a little nervous, but our finalists seem to be very, very calm. Good for them. Now let's get into our tiebreakers. Okay. In which year did Rabindranath Tagore win the Bharat Ratna? Aman going on the buzzer there. Yes, Aman. 1902 is what you're saying when Rabindranath Tagore won the Bharat Ratna?
Yes.
Alright. Aman, that gives you a -1 unfortunately because that was a trick question. Rabindranath Tagore has never won a Bharat Ratna. That was a trick question. Yes, we do understand and all of us know that he's done a lot of work and we probably assume that he's one among those who have won a Bharat Ratna, but he hasn't. So that was a trick question and because of that, Nidhi